I'm going to say this with all the kindness and I guess understanding as I can. But you should have started what you've been thinking about doing a long time ago. And I'll explain the best that I can. There was a time I had all these ideas, and I've basically procrastinated in starting out of fear, out of anxiety, and out of insecurity. And some of it was also, I was making excuses because of the situation. I could go into a lot with this video, but starting off, this being only my second video, I kind of want to get into the swing of things and not overwhelm with too much information. I mean, there's plenty of time to get to know me, and we can have conversations in the comments and whatnot. But I've been procrastinating starting YouTube pretty much for over a decade. This was way back when you had channels like Chester C, Kev Jumba, and I don't want to say the channel name just because it can probably be misinterpreted as what I'm saying, but Ryan Higa's channel. And I don't even know if a lot of people nowadays will remember those guys unless you were like a diehard fan or yeah, I don't know. But I have gone through so many ideas in my head for channels and what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that. I wanted to do this and thought this would be cool and I thought that would be cool. And then also print on demand. And I know like a lot of people will probably have objections to print on demand, but at least it'd be something that brings in money. At least some people do really well with it. But because of situations that were going on in our lives, and there's a video, and probably multiple videos that I'm going to do about everything that my wife and I have been through in our marriage. It's been just a little over 10 and a half years now. But because of situations that were going on, I used it as an excuse to not get started. Or I did get started, but I didn't like follow through. I didn't stay consistent, or I started over, or whatever overthinking thing made me do whatever to sabotage myself. And that's one thing that a lot of people do is overthink. It's like, what if this is not perfect? What if that's not perfect? Or what if I screw it up this way? What if you're successful? What about that? And like the whole YouTube thing, yes, it is a marathon. It is not a sprint, but also there is, I believe, I don't want to say a revolution, but it seems like there is something's evolving with the way YouTube works, with what people are looking for. Yes, the polished stuff, the really good editing, I still like that stuff. One of my favorite YouTubers, honestly, is probably my favorite YouTuber, is Peter McKinnon. if you've never seen his channel and you love watching creative stuff, you love watching people talking about tech gear or like these super cool I don't want to say nature videos. They're not nature videos. They have it's more than nature, but I'll just say this. There's two videos that he has that I absolutely love. Actually, three. One is the bucket shot. Another one is, I believe it's called The Mountains Won't Remember Me. And those two are like really long videos, but they're just absolutely beautiful. And the way he tells stories, and he works with a crew. I mean, it's not just him, but it's like, maybe crew isn't the right word, but anyway, if you, I mean, the third one is a shorter video. It's like, it's just, I don't want to say it's before he got really big, but it was when he was still not working, but still filming out of just like this like studio in his house. But it was a video he did with a letter artist. His name is Stefan Kuntz, I think, and it's called "It's Okay If You Suck." But I like to go to that video because it's like one of the things they say in that video is, and it's Stefan Kuntz that says it, it's create something today even if it sucks. I think a lot of times we get hung up in our heads about what we're doing or what we're trying to do, and it can stop us. And I honestly, I kind of feel like I'm getting off on a tangent, or just like I'm off on a rabbit trail. I'm getting away from what I'm trying to say. What I wanted to say is get started now. If your finances are okay, or even if you're struggling but you're not to the point that everything is unstable and chaotic and you don't know how things are going to happen, whatever it is that you want to do, that you've been trying to get started, just start it. Do it. Because you don't want, see, I've always had bad luck, if you want to use the term luck. But I've always had issues with cars breaking down, having all kinds of problems. And part of that is because I've always had to deal with used stuff. And some of it's been really heavily used. I have never had a brand new car. And I know people be like, well, why do you want a brand new car? It depreciates in value once you drive it. I don't care. I would rather be able to have the money to buy something brand new and have it depreciate in value as soon as I drive it off the lot, but also know that it's not about to break down on me. But you don't want to be driving your car and all of a sudden you have all these issues and you don't know how you're going to pay for it. You don't know how you're going to get it fixed. The other day, like 2 days ago, I was driving to work, and the car that I'm driving, so we have a 2017 Hyundai Sonata and a 2014 Chevy Equinox. So I'm driving the Equinox, and it's got problems. And then all of a sudden I'm driving along, and just like this loud noise just comes out of nowhere, and I hear this scraping. The muffler fell partway off. And what I mean is that the front part was still attached, but like in the back, it fell off and was dragging on the ground. And with everything going on, it's like, I just had this attitude of whatever. but also I was kind of concerned because I didn't know how am I going to take care of this? I ain't got money to have the muffler reattached. Luckily, a guy at work used a couple coat hangers from the coat rack and hung it back up for me. So that was cool. Um, but from my first video, there were some comments. People said something about, talk about your life experience, or give advice on things. I know discouragement. I know struggle. Yes, there's like other people in the world who have struggled way more than I have, and I'm not comparing myself to them. I'm not saying, oh, what I've gone through is so terrible. It sucks. And for me, from my perspective and my experience, yeah, it is terrible. But I understand that I got it way better than a lot of people. Um, but the whole point of this video is to say, stop procrastinating. And part of this is I'm kind of like talking to my old self, even if it's my 6-month old self. Stop procrastinating. Do what you know you gotta do. Do what you've been putting off and stop putting it off. We got in this apartment November 1st, and that's a whole nother video. I got videos in my head. I need to start writing them down, but I've got videos in my head that I want to do because I've got stuff to talk about. I like people say, I have a story to tell, even if I don't feel like I do. And it's basically kind of, I don't know, I feel weird saying advice, but I guess it's kind of me saying, don't get in my position. Don't get in our position financially. But we got in this apartment November 1st, and it's through a veterans program. I did 4 years in the Marines, so I qualify for veterans assistance. But when we first moved in, like the first couple of weeks, I was relieved that we were finally back in our own place. But also, there was, okay, how is this going to play out? How long do we get assistance? How lenient is this complex? So far, they've been okay. But I had this thought in my mind, do something or die. And it's not literally death, but do something or you're going to revert back to where you were. Do something or you're going to continue to struggle. And even with that thought in my mind, I still didn't start. We got through November, December came, we got through December, then January came, and we got through January, and I still hadn't started. I talked about it, but I still didn't start. I'm not saying that if I had started in November, I'd be monetized now. I understand it's a process. But there are also people who blew up real quick. And I feel like I'm starting to sound like a broken record because I keep saying I understand this and I understand that. But I get it. Just because somebody else did something doesn't mean I'm going to. Just because somebody else did something doesn't mean you're going to. But if you don't start, if you don't try, you will never know. And going back to something I had started to say and I got sidetracked, I feel like there's a shift in YouTube, and I've been noticing it over the last 4 or 5 months. At least I've become aware of it. And I feel And I'm pretty sure I've heard people say it in their videos. People are searching for more relatable content. People are searching for other people who they can connect with. And I'm not talking about literally, hey, let's meet up and do this. But through their channels, in the comments, they can connect with because they're going through the same stuff. People want to see other people that are dealing with the same issues, going through the same struggles. What are their lives like? And I am in no way a successful YouTube person. I don't even want to say guru. I've never been successful on YouTube. I've never been successful in making money online at all. So I'm not trying to give advice because I've done it, but I've seen these other people do it. And I'm tired of sitting on the sidelines and watching the days and the weeks and the months and the years go by. And I hope you are too. I hope this video wasn't too rambly, and I hope that you all are good, or I hope that you all are okay with me sitting in a chair like this, because my first video, and then I tried to do another video, but standing and moving around, I don't know, it didn't feel natural to me. It felt forced. But the whole idea is just get out there and try. Get on YouTube and try. If you have some idea to do online, do it. Try it. There were other things I was going to talk about in this video, but I feel like it's already gone on too long. And I wasn't trying to get to a certain amount of minutes. I just want to get on here and talk. Of course, yeah, I'd like my videos to be captivating. I'd like my videos to get views. I mean, who wouldn't? Can I say that? I still have this thing in my mind where it's like, you can't talk about that. You're not supposed to reference that. Like, people don't want to hear that. It's almost like breaking the fourth wall on TV when like an actor or an actress will like look at the camera and say something to you out in like the real world. Like, everybody, I guess in my mind, everybody knows that people putting out videos on YouTube are trying to make money, but you can't talk about it. I don't know. I probably sound ridiculous. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, but stop procrastinating. Get out there and do what you've been wanting to do. Later.